Understanding Qi and Qigong. The Chinese art of Qigong, or energy work, has been studied and practiced for over 4,000 years. Qigong is any training or study dealing with Qi which takes time and effort to achieve. The word Qi refers to the energy circulating in the human body as well. This idea then controls your breathing and is also the force that moves the Qi. It is your spirit or morale which determines how successful your Qigong practice will be. When your morale is raised, your Qi can be led more efficiently and your Qigong will be more effective. It is understood now that the human body is constructed of many different electrically conductive materials and that it forms a living electromagnetic field and circuit. Energy is continuously being generated in the human body through the biochemical reaction in food and air assimilation and circulated by the electromotive forces generated by the mind. In addition, you are constantly being affected by external electromagnetic fields such as that of the earth or the electrical fields generated by clouds. When you practice Chinese medicine or Qigong, you need to be aware of these outside factors and take them into account. During the electrophysiological research of the 1960s, several investigators discovered that bones are piezoelectric. That is, when they are stressed, mechanical energy is converted to electrical energy in the form of electric current. This might explain why Qi circulation is increased when stress on the bones and muscles is increased in certain Qigong exercises. Whenever you have an injury or are sick, your body's electrical circulation is affected. If this circulation of electricity stops, you die. But bioelectric energy not only maintains life, it is also responsible for repairing physical damage. Every cell of the body functions like an electric battery and is able to store electric charge. Our entire body is essentially a big battery which is assembled from millions of small batteries. All of these batteries together form the human electromagnetic field. Body will degenerate. In order to have abundant Qi storage, you must practice Qigong in order to build up the Qi in your 8 vessels, and also to lead the Qi circulating in your body. The next thing you should ask yourself is how this replacement process is carried out. The entire replacement process depends on the blood cells. From Western medicine, we know that a blood cell is the carrier of water, oxygen, and nutrients to everywhere in the body through the blood circulatory network. From arteries and capillaries, the components for new cells are brought to every tiny place in the body. The old cells then absorb everything required from the bloodstream and divide to produce new cells. The dead cells are brought back through veins to the lungs. Through respiration, the dead cell materials are expelled as carbon dioxide. However, there is something missing from the last process. This is the Qi or bioelectricity that is required for the biochemical process of cell division. It has been proven that every blood cell is actually like a dipole or a small battery, which is able to store bioelectricity and also to release it. This means that each blood cell is actually a carrier of Qi. In Chinese medicine, it is said the blood and the Qi are always together. Cell replacement actually happens from inside of the body, moving outward. If we are tense, the blood circulation will be more stagnant and cell replacement will be slower. Most cell replacement occurs in the night when we are at our most relaxed state during sleep. If we accept that blood cells are the carriers of everything which is required for cell replacement, then we must also consider the healthy condition of our blood cells. If you have good health and a sufficient quantity of blood cells, then the nutrients and Qi can be carried to every part of the body efficiently. You will be healthy. However, if you do not have sufficient blood cells, or the quality of the cells is poor, then the entire cell replacement process will be stagnant. Naturally, you will degenerate swiftly. According to modern medical science, blood cells also have a lifespan. When the old ones die, new ones must be produced from the bone marrow. Bone marrow is the major blood factory. After a person reaches 30, the marrow near the ends of the bone cavity turns yellow. This indicates that fat has accumulated there. It also means that red blood cells are no longer being produced in the yellowed area. Chinese Qigong practitioners believe that the degeneration of the bone marrow is due to insufficient qi supply. Bone marrow washing Qigong was developed for this reason. From experience, we know that through bone marrow washing Qigong practice, health can be improved and life can be extended significantly. If you are interested in this subject, please read Qigong.
That goes along the length of the collagen. That dipole is going to, that dipole is going to attract these osteoblasts. They like it. They're tuned into it. They're built to recognize it, and they flock to it. So here are these blasts come. They recognize this collagen is getting compressed. This collagen is getting stressed. All right? Maybe this is collagen that is in osteoid on the surface of a bone. It's getting compressed. There's these dipoles that are being induced, all right, because this material is piezoelectric. And they come in and lay down the hydroxyapatite onto that collagen and mineralize that osteoid, thus increasing bone density, thus building new bone. Apatite, the inorganic component of the bone, the like ceramic, mineral ceramic stuff, the calcium in it. Yes, ma'am. You guys following this? I so wish I had time to like make some beautiful video or something, or like a really cool graphic, because the like image I have in my head of this is so incredible that like I just imagine dancing, right? I just imagine like a person dancing and every part of them is invisible except their skeleton, right? Except their skeleton. And so you just see this like skeleton dancing around, but every time the skeleton lands on a bone somewhere, that bone lights up and glows because of the charges that are being induced along the length of the bone. It is genuinely creating an electric field around that bone when the bone is being used or compressed or whatever. It's just a kind of a beautiful way to think about motion in my mind. So maybe that'll work for you. I don't know. You guys following this? It's kind of cool that our bodies are like hardwired to be these like electrical machines that respond to these electrical crystals, mineralized crystals that respond to motion. Okay, so what's the significance? Well, there's a couple significant things. First is it turns out that external electrical stimulation can be used to help heal and repair bone, right? If you induce a charge in a bone, say you have somebody who has got like a really bad break, they're laid up, they can't use their bone, and they don't want their bone to decrease in bone density. We want to increase that bone density, but they're stuck in bed. You can induce healing in a bone by putting an external electrical stimulation on that bone. But for our purposes, weight-bearing exercise like yoga increases bone density, absolutely. The guy that first really discovered this relationship between weight-bearing exercise and bone density was this guy, Julius Wolff. He was a German physiologist at the turn of the century. And these are some drawings that he made showing the lines of force he mapped out the lines of force in bones. He was one of these kind of guys, kind of like what's my architect, Louis Sullivan. He was one of these guys that was kind of a Renaissance thinker, in turn, like very broad thinker. He compared the structure of bone and the sort of the tensegrity of bone, spongy bone, to like structure of various plants. He did botany and all other realms of biology, but he was a surgeon by profession. Was finding these like correlations, physical, biomechanical correlations. He had some pretty cool drawings. It's going. So we got through that. That's cool. Yoga affects bone density directly through the piezoelectric effect. But does it have any other effects on bone health? All right. So we talked about, you have seen in great detail now how weight-bearing activity like yoga is going to impact